All right, let's get right into it. There's this character in a huge new show that everyone is just buzzing about. And what makes him so scary, so real, is that he's not some over-the-top villain. Nope, he's the kind of person you might actually know. So today, we're taking down the master of manipulation himself, Lee Dong-ming.
And we're going to start with his own words, because you have to hear this. This is how he justifies cheating on his lover. And listen to the tone. It's like a CEO at a quarterly review. He's literally packaging his betrayal as, a biological feature of a superior man. It's not a mistake, you see. It's a reward he feels he's earned.
But come on, let's just call it what it really is. This is not a relationship. It's exploitation, plain and simple. He's not looking for a partner. He's acquiring an asset that happens to come with unpaid overtime and, well, other services. And that right there, that's the core of who this guy is.
So the real danger with a guy like Lee Dong-ming isn't just that he cheats. It's the incredibly polished, corporate, and oh-so-respectable mask he wears to justify his cruelty. This isn't about passion or making a mistake. No, this is about power, and he wields it with a smile and a spreadsheet.
And this scene just lays it all out there perfectly. So picture this. It's an intimate moment, right after they've been together. His lover, Chow Hai-lun, is still lying there. And his first thought? Work. His first question to her is about a report. He doesn't see a person next to him. He sees an employee, and our productivity is all he cares about. I mean, the shamelessness is just breathtaking.
Let's actually break down his twisted way of thinking, because it's a masterclass in manipulation. You have to see how he reframes everything. In his mind, cheating isn't a moral failure. Oh no, it's proof of his excellent genes. And if you have a problem with it, well, sorry, but that's a you problem. He'll say you lack perspective, that your vision is too small. He turns his own horrible behavior into a strength and your completely valid pain into a personal weakness.
But what happens when that respectable mask finally slips? Well, when his wife catches him secretly moving $15 million out of their shared assets, it shatters. And he doesn't apologize. He attacks. He smashes a glass and screams this line at her. He turns his theft into some kind of twisted payback. All of a sudden, the calm, cool manipulator is gone. And in his place is a tyrant, using the past as a weapon to justify his betrayal.
I mean, seriously, are you disgusted yet? Because that's the feeling everyone gets when they watch him. It's not just about hating a villain. It's this deep, gut-level revulsion. And honestly, a huge part of why he feels so real and so awful comes down to the actor's performance.
And that brings us to the actor, Tong Dawei, because his performance is what makes this character just so bone-chillingly real. It is a masterclass in subtlety. Every single tiny physical detail adds to this man's deep, deep dishonesty. His whole body becomes a lie. It's all in these tiny little expressions. Like when he smiles at his wife, his eyes droop, and he looks like a harmless, devoted golden retriever. But the second she turns away, his eyes go vacant, totally empty. And with his lover, his hand is on her waist, drawing these lazy circles while he's talking about business KPIs. It's this horrifying mix of intimacy and transaction. And that moment he presses her neck, it's not a caress. It's described as a clutch, a gesture of ownership. It's predatory. And then you have the shower scene. After he's been with his lover, he gets home and just scrubs his chest so hard it turns raw. But his eyes are completely blank the whole time. It's not about guilt. It's a purely mechanical act, like he's trying to erase the evidence. He's literally trying to scrape her off his skin, treating his own body like a dirty countertop he needs to clean. This is a man completely disconnected from his own actions.
And all of this manipulation, this cold calculation, it has devastating consequences in the real world. And that brings us to the tragic story of his lover, Chow Hai-lun, who he never saw as anything more than a human tool.
Her story is just gut-wrenching. She's a top graduate, full of potential, but she is trapped. She pulls all-nighters working on his presentations, and her break is sleeping for a few minutes in a supply closet. For her birthday, he doesn't even bother to show up. He just has a wallet sent over by courier. And when she finally musters the courage to leave him, he blackmails her. He threatens to expose a kickback she took. She's totally trapped. And eventually, her body just gives out. She dies from overwork right there at her desk.
So, when Lee Dong-ming gets the news of her death, what do you think his first reaction is? Is it grief? Is it shock? Maybe some remorse? Nope. His first thought is about a number, 3 million. So what is that 3 million? It's hush money. And here's the sickest, most disgusting part of it all. It comes from her own life insurance policy and her unpaid year-end bonus. The company he represents pays nothing. He pays nothing. He uses the money she earned in life to silence the tragedy of her death. It is the absolute final act of exploitation.
In the end, Lee Dan-ming's career is ruined. His wife leaves him and goes on to build her own, very successful company. So, there's a sense of justice there. But Chow Hai-lin is gone, forever, and it really forces us to ask a much bigger question about this type of person.
And this right here is why this character hits so close to home, especially for anyone who's ever worked in an office. The show basically poses this question directly, and it's a haunting one, isn't it? Who among us hasn't met some version of a Lee Dan-ming?
This is the perfect definition of this archetype. The respectable scumbag doesn't use obvious aggression. Their violence is psychological. They smile, they use all the right corporate buzzwords, they twist logic, and they masterfully manipulate you into believing that their exploitation is somehow your fault, that you're the one who isn't smart enough or dedicated enough or just not good enough.
So, yeah, the villain in the show gets what's coming to him. But we're left with this lingering thought, aren't we? Out here in the real world, have these respectable scumbags really gone away? Yeah, I think we all know the answer to that.
After all this analysis, after all the disgust and the tragedy, what is there even left to say? Well, the source material gives us the perfect, most cathartic response. For Lee Dan-ming and for every single respectable scumbag out there just like him, there's really only one word: Pa.